car hood pops open. February 24th, 2022. Let's get into it now. Bam, let's get into it now. Oh my goodness!
Hard on the brakes here.
Wow.
Nearly hit that car. Wow.
And you can see he hit the car. Let's get into it now.
He's in the residential area now.
Okay, he's in the residential area.
Here we go. Passengers are out, and the driver is continuing. We're in Paramount.
They're in Paramount. And you see the driver speeds out of control.
Okay, copy.
Front bumper falling off. And driving on slow speed bumps. driving into a dip area street area, Somerset Boulevard, and sparks flying. Oh my goodness! You saw that? I see.
Paramount.
Overnight, the Washington Post reported that federal agents believe they have enough evidence to charge Hunter Biden with
And now you see the driver.
Sheriffs.
citing anonymous sources said the president's son's case has now moved one step closer to a potential conclusion, with a U.S. attorney in Delaware who was appointed by President Trump set to decide whether to proceed. The agents, the Post reported, determined months ago they had assembled a violent
Determined month ago. Not month ago. Oh, sorry. Still from the TV. Okay, turning right onto Paramount Boulevard. Street, Dirty Street in Downey, Norwalk, Paramount, California. They pick up the chase in the 105 freeway. They pick up the chase They pick up the chase on the 105 freeway through somewhere. They pick up the chase on the 105 freeway, and you can see the driver picking up speed. Went onto the 105 freeway, and then you can see picking up speed. That car's seems to me that's a white sedan. It suffered some body damage earlier on. The car had suffered from some body damage, and he's been hitting the brakes. Smoke's flying everywhere, locking up the brakes. Not locking up the brakes. Not locking up the brakes.
Because they're essentially in what's called the tracking mode. So airship
tracking mode.
know that there were 3 people inside because we saw 2 of the passengers bail from
They
the car.
saw 2 of the passengers bail from the car.
Republicans have pledged to go after the president's son if they retake control of Congress in November. If there's a place for us to investigate, we'll investigate.
Yeah, this is Rosecrans, and
This is
just
East
over the freeway here.
Rosecrans Avenue.
Entering Compton, actually. So we're entering Compton now, and again, you're not going to see any units behind the car.
You're not going to see any units behind. You're not going to see any units behind the car. 3 people on board, and it has been dangerous. Barely misses hitting that pedestrian. Pedestrian. Signal's lost, not lost, but the signal is back on now from the news helicopter.
just a moment
Signal
ago
is
we
good.
crossed it, but now we're
The
in
signal is
Linwood.
back
And
on
he's coming up to a red
from the
light.
news
So we'll see what
helicopter.
he does here. And it just switched on him, actually. It just went
Driving
green. But every time
erratically.
he's come up to a red light, he's ran right through it. Or if he
He's
doesn't
ran
want to
right
run
through it.
he'll just make a right turn instead.
Or
But
he'll
you can
just
see
make
that
a
this
right
car
turn
had
instead.
suffered
But you
some
can see
body
this
damage
car.
already.
You can see
During
that
the course
car
of this
had
pursuit.
suffered.
You can see that the bumper is
That
missing.
bot
We saw
suffered.
sparks flying just
That
a few
car
minutes
suffered
ago as
some
well
body
when the car
damage.
got some air and had a hard landing.
And
So
they got some
overall, it's
air,
just
had
been
a hard
dangerous
landing.
the entire time. And again, now on
It's
surface
just
streets,
been
these are
dangerous the
surface
entire
streets, folks.
time.
Look at the speed.
And again, now on
Almost
surface
100 miles
streets.
an hour.
Fears of people who don't want to get caught without their water.
Oh my goodness, hitting the brakes. He is hitting the brakes over and over again, hitting the brakes. And now,
On most vacations, you
we
take
don't
a
have time
trip.
for that not car commercial. We don't have time for
But in
commercials.
Israel, you'll take a journey you'll never forget,
We'll be right back.
where you experience things so extraordinary.
Zelle, a mobile payment transfer service that you can use through your banking app.
Yeah,
Now hitting the brakes again.
For bank information
And again, and again, and again.
Go ahead, Colleen.
You can see now hitting the brakes over and over again. And you want to make sure no pedestrian, not no pedestrian,
But he's just making the turn here onto Imperial Highway from Atlantic.
making the turn here on the
major streets here in the Linwood area.
Imperial Highway from
Atlantic.
Atlantic.
But where he abandoned, or rather where his passengers abandoned, that was
Where
the
his
residential
passengers,
area.
his
And it looks
abandoned,
like now he may be hopping
the
on
passengers
freeway.
had abandoned
So if he does, he will be
them,
getting on the southbound 710 freeway from
the
Imperial.
residential
We haven't seen him on
neighborhood
the
area.
17
Southbound 710 freeway, we haven't seen
When he
him.
was on the freeway earlier, he was on the 105.
We haven't
So
seen
now
him.
on the 710
This is his
south.
first time going. This is his first time south. This is his. This is his first time on the southbound 710 freeway from Long Beach and Linwood.
that you should hang up the phone and call your utility company yourself. Guys,
Yeah, he can see the light from the helicopter. And I'll just backtrack a little bit. I will say that at some point there were units behind him.
There were units. There were units behind him.
Eastbound 105 freeway. But once he exited off of Bellflower and he got onto those surface streets, that's when it just became too dangerous to continue to follow him from behind. So that is when the units pulled off and the airship stayed over it. But, you know, he can clearly, as you mentioned, he can clearly see the night sun. So sometimes what the airship will do in these types of situations is they'll just turn the night sun off. And then hopefully the guy or gal behind the wheel will think that they are no longer being pursued, and they'll start to
the guy
drive
or
at
the
more
gal
normal speeds. But
behind
for
the
now,
wheel
still continuing to
driving
hit these speeds.
at
Over 100
normal
miles an hour
speeds,
here on the
100 miles an
southbound
hour.
710 freeway.
Now look at him.
Clinical study, more than 8 out of 10 patients taking Tepezza had less eye bulging. Tepezza is an infusion. Patients
Yeah,
take
so
Tepezza
incredibly
with
dangerous.
infusion
But the good news is that because he is on the freeway, he's not going to have any cross traffic and no pedestrians, and he's not going to be running any red lights, obviously. But he may actually be exiting now. So I have.
Well, look at him.
May come back into play here as he
It just
exits,
may
from the
come
710
back
freeway onto
into
Alondra
play
in the Compton
here.
area.
Now, I'm ready to be seen again. Visit mytepezza.com to find a TBD.
Yeah, so he's doing a U-turn there,
Before and after
and now he's going
Taking a
eastbound
U-turn.
Alondra from the
What time we go out, Mom? What time we go out?
And it looks like he is going to stick to streets here, so he had a chance to get back on the freeway there if he wanted to. I thought that's maybe why he was...
He got back. Not back. He got off. He got off the 710 freeway from 105 freeway.
Yeah, still about 90 to 100 miles an hour plus. Continuing here, Alondra Boulevard, still in the Paramount area.
Alondra
So
Boulevard.
for the most part, this pursuit has been in Paramount and in Bellflower, but most of the time that I've looked down, it seems like it's been in Paramount, though he did creep into Compton and Linwood for just a second before hopping onto the 710 freeway and making his way back to Paramount.
money, health, and happiness live long.
Turning right.
points today. Want more from your vitamins? Get more with Nature's Bounty.
Look.
From the first ever triple action sleep
We
supplement.
didn't see him collide with anything, even though there were a couple of close calls. But we never
Now,
saw him actually crash into anything.
he didn't
So this could have been a
collide with
situation where he already
anything.
had the damage, or it
We
happened prior
saw
to us
he didn't crash
arriving overhead.
into cars.
And
He was
actually,
hitting the
Tina, he's
brakes
down to just one
smoothly.
headlight. So even the front bumper has some damage.
The bumper had some front damage.
Quality dining room set this fall, like my Montana dining collection. Get the table with 6 chairs, only $9.99, or table 4 chairs.
Yeah, he's just down to one headlight.
He
and
is
then
down
he
to
said,
one
the
down
headlights aren't that
to
great
one
either.
headlight.
In fact, when he was on the 105 freeway earlier, when we
When
arrived
his
overhead,
headlights
he was
aren't
completely blacked
aren't
out,
great that
which made it
either.
really difficult to
Aren't
see.
that great
But now
that
he's on
either.
surface
That
streets
when
and
he was on the
headlights,
105,
of course, when he brakes, you
when
can
he
see
was
the
on the
tail lights.
105
And we'll see
freeway,
what happens here as he comes up to the next
as
light
they
here.
come up to the
Barely
next
misses,
light,
hitting that
next
car as he runs the
light,
red
barely
here on
misses
Alondra Boulevard
hitting
in
that
Paramount.
car, and right here, Alondra, right here, he is on Alondra Boulevard towards
So at this point, it's unclear if they're
Virginia
in
Avenue,
custody, but
Georgia
I'll tell you that
Avenue.
as soon as they exited the vehicle, the airship
As
called out their
soon as
exact
they
location, and there
exited,
were units
as
close
soon as
enough
they exited
to
that
come to the
vehicle,
area and hopefully take them into custody. But at this point, I can't
he is
confirm whether they
still
were
on
taken into custody or
Alondra
not.
Boulevard.
Even if they were not willful
Even though if
participants
they're
of
not
this
willful, or
pursuit,
they're willful, they're
they
not
will still
willful,
be taken into custody
or
as if
willful,
they were.
willful,
And then, of course,
not
once they go
willful,
down to the station,
willful,
and the officers have time
they
to
are
interrogate
willful,
everyone about what
willful, or
happened,
not
then they will
willful,
release them if they
willful.
had nothing to do
They
with
are
it.
willful
But for now,
participants of the pursuit, or
focus here
maybe
from
not
the sheriff's department is going to be
willful
on the
participants
individual
of the
behind the
pursuit. I
wheel.
think
Again, at this
they
point,
are
we don't know if
willful
it's a man or a woman,
participants
but the two
of the
passengers that
pursuit.
exited the car were men.
And see the driver, and
Additional passenger or two.
slowing
The
down.
car is going to fit at least 5
The
people.
car is
We
gonna
saw two
fit.
exit. We know there's one
The
behind
car is
the
gonna
wheel,
fit
so there
at
possibly
least
could be up to 2 more.
5 people. 5 people. 5. 5. And you might know. Wow, turning right onto Flower Street.
Actually, we're on another pursuit. That we're covering another chase on the 710 freeway. Exited in Monterey Park, near the sheriff's headquarters there at the 710 and the 10. So we were covering that pursuit, and then it was after the pursuit that my pilot, Jim Pollard, actually spotted
Let's
some
listen.
vehicles running with their lights and sirens on the 105 freeway. We came to check it out, and then that's when we learned that it was, in fact, a sheriff's department pursuit. And it wasn't on the freeway, though, for long before he exited on Bellflower Boulevard. And it's been on surface streets for the most part until he got on the 710, but making a U-turn here. Making a U-turn here on Downey with across the flower, and there are the units. So those are the units that we were waiting to arrive on scene, and now they're going to get behind the car. Now, if they get behind the car, it's because they realize that the tracking mode is not working. Usually they will go into tracking mode to get the driver to slow down, but in this case, we've seen that clearly he's not slowing down for anyone or anything. So they have got really nothing to lose by getting behind him now, but he's entering the freeway, so that does change things a little bit, because then that means that the California Highway Patrol could take over the pursuit now.
Okay. It almost that they got the same feeling as well. That he was perhaps about a place to abandon that vehicle.
I think it might have changed something in his mind, and he decided he
abandon
was not
the
ready to
vehicle.
give up, and so
He
for
was
that reason, he's now back
planning
on the
to
freeway,
abandon the
where he's found
vehicle
on the 91 freeway in the
and
Long
take
Beach area.
off
So,
running
essentially, we are east of the
east of 110 freeway,
the west of the 710,
the west of along the 710 and along the 91 freeway.
They're not that slow moving, though.
And everyone else's freeway speeds. He's the one that just outrageously passing slower cars. He almost near misses that car, and you want See this? Look!
Yes, so he's going eastbound, rather. I'm sorry, let me look out the window real quick. Okay, you know, he's going westbound. Sometimes I get turned around when I'm just looking down all the time, but I'm actually just looking up ahead, and I can see towards LAX, so he is going westbound here on the 91 freeway, currently in the Long Beach area. Let me widen out. Yeah, I'm not seeing any units, at least no units with their lights on. So
no units with their lights on.
They're trailing
no units with their lights on.
Again, this person will think that he or she is no longer being pursued, and hopefully
should no longer be
slow down
pursued.
just a little bit. But I'll tell you, because we're on the freeway, it just makes sense to get CHP involved, so I can guarantee you that those calls are being made to get the California Highway Patrol to come out here and follow this vehicle, since he is on the freeway, and of course the CHP is going to be the police of our freeways here in California, so they're going to be best equipped to follow this pursuit if he continues.
They're going to be best equipped to follow this pursuit if he continues on the freeway. Let's listen.
They actually haven't talked about it at all, and I think it's just because he has no rhyme or reason to his driving. Even though he stayed in Paramount for a while, he was never just circling the same streets, and so for that reason it made it difficult to figure out where he was going to go and where they could possibly place a spike strip where he would run it over. And as you mentioned, over at these speeds, just not going to happen. But fortunately, it's a smaller car, so were he to slow down his speeds, then they could possibly try it. But at this point, just at the speed that he's going at, they just can't. And the other thing we got to take into account is he armed? At this point, we don't know what the original want was, other than that it was a failure to yield. So if the officers know a little bit more about the original want than we do, if they perhaps know that he is armed, then that could really affect whether or not they do a pit maneuver, because they wouldn't want to put their officers in a situation where they would pit a car with a person inside who was possibly armed.
No, sorry. On the 91 freeway.
It looks like he is transitioning to the 110, and I'll tell you here as he completes the transition if he's going north or south. Yeah. At this point, it appears that he's going to be going northbound on the 110 from the 91 freeway.
Okay,
yeah, so here are the units coming in, and here's the CHP unit. So the one with its lights on is CHP. The ones that aren't lit up are sheriffs. So what's happening is, since we are on the freeway, and he's been on the freeway now for the last few minutes, the California Highway Patrol is going to be taking over. So you'll see that unit with the light bar approach the vehicle here in the next minute or so. And I am hearing that the CHP is asking for permission to join the pursuit. So we should see that car get behind him here momentarily. Yeah, so the 405 was just behind us, so he missed his chance to get on that, but he, as you mentioned, he could get on the 105. So we've seen him on the 105 before, and he seemed to be really familiar with that Bellflower, Paramount area, so I wouldn't be surprised if he picks up the 105 from here. Beyond that, he would essentially be stuck on the 110 because his next chance to transition to any other freeway would be the 10, and that doesn't come up until we get to just south of downtown. Yeah, it definitely does light up their path and gives them at least some sort of indication that something's going on. Because the only unit that we saw with its lights on was that one unit of the CHP. So if you're not looking for that, you may not realize that this is a pursuit. But unfortunately, because of that night sun, it's nice and bright, so the other drivers on the road would be able to see it. And ideally, what you want to do in those types of situations, when you see a pursuit coming your way, is if you can safely do so, move over to the right.
Coming your way, you see?
If you look towards that right lane, we've got some construction coming up, which means we're going to have
construction coming up.
That always makes for such a dangerous situation. So in this case, I'm hoping he stays in the left lane, and he's going continuing northbound here on the 110 freeway. And those lanes that you're seeing up above, those are the fast track lanes. So they may obstruct our vision here for just a moment, but going northbound 110 freeway from the 105.
110 freeway from the 105 freeway. Decided to take off running. You know, the want was
this is behind the wheel, which means that they were able to run the license plate and it would come back to the registered owner, likely the person that they were looking for in connection with that felony vandalism case out of Bellflower. Now, we don't have any of the exact details of that specific vandalism case, but I can tell you that it was the Sheriff's Department that initially tried to pull this person over, but they failed to yield and the pursuit was on, and boy was it on. Over 110 miles an hour on the freeway, and at some point when he got into a residential area, he started slowing down. I thought everyone was going to get out of the car, but the driver stayed behind the wheel. The two male passengers got out, and the pursuit continued. Yeah, real difficult to tell, but it looks like the driver may actually be on his or her phone. So if you look right in the driver's window, you can actually see the light of what appears to be a cell phone. So perhaps texting with his buddies to figure out what they know. Obviously, he's being pursued. There's no question about that. But this person clearly still on his phone. I see sparks coming from under the vehicle. If you look just under the front tire there, you can see those sparks. So this car is it's got quite some damage. We don't know if it happened during the course of the pursuit before we arrived overhead, but clearly this car is going to have issues as this pursuit continues. It really could, and that would just make for such a dangerous situation for his fellow drivers here on the northbound side of the 110 freeway. So we really hope it doesn't come to anything like that where he endangers the lives of other people. But it looks like he's actually getting in the carpool lanes. So that's why you see him on the elevated portion is because he's in those fast track lanes. And still northbound 110 coming up to 52nd place would be the street. Closer to Vernon would be the major. And there's one unit of the CHP, 2, 3, let's see how many more behind that. I'm seeing 4 units total. So 4 units total of the California Highway Patrol behind this driver, in addition to the LA County Sheriff airship overhead.
And now, see that?
Yeah,
and now you've seen it. We've seen it in the past several
yeah,
weeks.
correct. We're passing the Coliseum, USC, as you mentioned, and downtown LA is going to be coming up here in the next couple minutes. And
Yeah.
especially at the speeds he's traveling at, it's going to come up real fast. So the next freeway that he's going to come up to will be the 10 freeway. It'll give him a chance to go east or west from there if he wants to, or proceed northbound on the 110. Of course, he could always exit. That's going to put him into the heart of downtown. So all of those numbered streets is where he would end up. So ideally, hopefully, he stays on the freeway just to lessen that danger level when it comes to pedestrians and red lights and things of that nature that you would encounter on surface streets.
You would encounter on surface streets. And then, you see, you're seeing this. Oh boy, picking up speed.
Yeah, it could have been someone joining the pursuit, or it could be somebody who was going to hang back a little bit to run a traffic break, perhaps. Or sometimes they do.
Oh my goodness!
Coming from the car there. I think you might have just
And
been
you
hard
see
on the
that
brakes.
smoke right there, hard on the
Officers will
brakes?
do something that's called. Oh, hey, there you go.
There you
Just
go,
blew
it's
up.
popped open.
Oh,
And if it was,
if this wasn't dangerous before,
and if this is what,
it's dangerous now.
if this is
Now
what,
you're gonna be
if
able to see
it
it at the
wasn't
speed that
dangerous
you're
at all,
traveling at.
this is dangerous.
So dangerous.
Oh my goodness. You saw that.
Oh, can you imagine trying to drive like that?
Audience, pay close attention.
Yeah, so there's a Metro bus right ahead of him. We're going to lose him there for just a second, but here he comes out the other side. It looks like he's transitioning to the 10 freeway. So
To the 10
like
freeway.
We're going to be going eastbound on the 10 freeway from the 110.
Wow. Eastbound on the 10 freeway from 110 freeway. Wow, look it. 45 miles an hour.
Oh,
Look at him. Throwing the keys out the window.
yeah, it looks like his hands are out, yep. So it looks like this may be it for him. You see the officers there with their guns drawn. I see the driver's hand, so I'm going to go ahead and stay tight. And he's now down on the ground. And there's another person. Look at that. There was, in fact, another person in the vehicle. So in total, that means there would have been 4 people inside of the vehicle. You see the driver crawling in the direction of the officers. They're still giving him
The
directions
officers
and handcuffing him.
stay
That
still
was
giving him
interesting, that's for
directions
sure.
and
you see
handcuffing
those
him.
officers there at the
That
top
was
of the
interesting.
screen. They have their guns pointed at the passenger. They're really trying to slow things down now. Now that the driver is
They really try to
slowly
slow
take those
slow things down.
passenger and take that person into custody as well.
Yeah. Now it's broken. Oh, great. Now he is in custody.
I can guarantee you that's not what they asked him to do. That's for sure. They would never ask him to approach in that manner, but that's what he decided to do, and it got him into custody, and nobody's hurt, so that's the good
They
news.
got 2 of them in
the
custody.
CHP
Good news.
officers now
No one is
approaching
hurt.
the car. They just want to
Nobody's
clear it,
injured.
make sure nobody's inside, so
Officers
pop
are
open the trunk.
approaching
Sometimes
that car.
it
It's
takes
the
a moment to
Lexus
figure out where the button is for
2000
that. So once they do,
Lexus
they will pop the trunk open and make
Lexus
sure that nobody is hiding back there.
GS400
And once
and a
that's all said and done, they'll be able to clear the
GS300.
freeway again, ending here
Yeah, and a
eastbound 10 freeway.
GS300 and GS400. 2000 car of the year. 2000 car of the year. And now look at him. It ended. There you have it. There you have it. There you go. You're gonna see this also as well. And you watch. Now he has ended up in custody. Now they're taking that. They're taking that driver, clearing off the highway. They're taking the car. to somewhere, veering off the highway, and I'm going to check for moments. Hitting the brakes.
In the residential area
Going
now.
into the residential streets. Sparks flying.
The driver kept going and the pursuit
And
continues here in
goes
Paramount.
across the avenue.
He's ran every red light we've seen.
Ran every red
Barely
light you've
misses.
seen.
He's ran every red light we've seen.
Yep, you've seen it.
On Bellflower Boulevard.
And you see it too. That's what's going on with the pursuit. You can see the wheel smoking. He was on the 110 freeway northbound earlier on. Sparks flying underneath the vehicle. And then hard on the brakes there.
But sometimes officers will do something that's called
Car hood pops open.
Oh wow. If this wasn't dangerous before, this is dangerous now.
Now it's dangerous. And you've seen it now.
Oh,
Now he is in custody.
so it looks. Yeah,
It
looks like his hands are out. Yep.
both of them are in custody this evening in Los Angeles, and then you see the driver. That white car again is the 2000 Lexus GS400. Both cars, perspective, I should say, crawling inside. They'll come to you. I've never seen that before.
That was interesting, that's for
He
sure.
is surrendering, giving up,
officers there at the
giving
top
up
of the screen. They
the
have their
police,
guns
and
pointed
now,
at the passenger.
there you have
Try
it.
to slow things down now. Now that the driver is in custody, they will slowly make those commands to the passenger and take
They
that
will
person
slowly
into
make
custody as well.
commands to the passenger. And look at them.
I can guarantee you that's not what
We
they
can
asked them to
guarantee
do.
you or
That's for sure.
guarantee
They
them
would never ask
that
them to approach in that
that's
manner,
for
but
sure.
that's
They
what
are
decided to
approaching
do,
the
and
car.
they got him in a
White
custody,
car.
and
They
nobody's
got
hurt, so
two of
that's
them.
good news.
Two of
And,
them.
the,
Three
CHP
suspects.
officers now
2 or 3
approaching the car. They just
suspects
wanna
are in
clear it.
custody in
Make
Los
sure nobody's
Angeles
inside. They'll pop
this
open the
evening.
trunk.
And
Sometimes
now
it
they
takes them a
pop the
moment to
trunk.
figure out
It
where the
takes
button
them a
is for
moment
that. So once
to
they do,
figure
they
out
will
where
pop
the
the trunk open
button
and make sure that nobody
where the
is hiding
button
back there.
is.
And once that's all said and done,
Nobody
they would clear the freeway
where the
again.
button
And here,
is that
eastbound
nobody
10
is
freeway.
nobody is hiding. Nobody is hiding underneath the underneath the trunk of the car, and you can see he is in custody. And now, so see what happened after the wild pursuit ended. Now, sparks flying moments ago, and then now there you have it. It's going away. Not going away. They're clearing up the they are clearing up the traffic now, and you can see they've been stuck in traffic now for the past couple of minutes. At this point, for the past couple of minutes at this point, since it started the chase, and since they've been waiting the past half a minute or two, now you have it. They're taking the car somewhere. I don't know. So, adios. I'm out. Check out this video. Plus the here. Bye, guys.
Here in about a minute or so.
On